people involved in this production. This is a student-directed production by a graduating major in theater, Deb Freeman. She was assisted throughout the rehearsal and performance cycle by Becky Arney. Is Becky here tonight? Maybe not. Well, let's give Becky a costume and some rather inventive things that were done by faculty member Lois Carter and her student assistant Joni Tan. Then I'd like to introduce our cast. All right. David is smirking already because I'll get his name wrong. David Isban, Angie Haynes, Cecily Jans, Doug Crane, Beth Sharenza, Samantha Miller, Michael Muni, Kelly Bailey, Daniil Cadogan, and Tim Horvath.
Good evening, and welcome to our dramatization of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. We're all students at IUSB, some majors in the theater program, and some exploring other degrees. Our intention is to entertain you, to draw you into the magical world created by Dickens in 1843. Later, called the greatest little book in the world, A Christmas Carol has had a rebirth in recent decades on stages around the world as the theater community has rediscovered how deeply this tale is embedded in our culture, and the extent to which our hearts still open to the pity, tenderness, sympathy, and ultimately the joy wrought by the ghostly visions of Ebenezer Scrooge. Ours is a humble production, designed to go wherever the tale must be told, so we beg your indulgence if we must ask you to cooperate. Your imaginations will be needed to fill in the details of costume and scenic device. Where we sit, you must imagine the streets of London, wearing a covering of ice and coal-stained snow. When we wear a hat, you must supply the great coat that goes with it. And when Scrooge is alone in his bedroom, you must feel the cold and see the darkness. Ready? Then we transport you.
Once there was a dreadful old man named Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh, he was a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, clutching old sinner. Scrooge had been in partnership for many years with Jacob Marley, so his firm was known as Scrooge and Marley. But Marley had been dead for 7 years. Yes, Marley was dead. Dead as a doornail. And old Scrooge lived alone and disliked everybody. He had a clerk in his office named Bob Cratchit, and he only paid the poor fellow who had a wife and 3 children a wage that scarcely fed them. The meager office that Cratchit sat in was like a cold, dismal little cell, and when Cratchit stopped to warm his hands over the burnt-out coal, old Scrooge looked up over his glasses and said,
"Cratchit, get on with your work."
"Well, you see, sir, my fire is almost out and my hands are numb. I need another bit of coal to keep warm, sir."
Nonsense. How many times have I told you I'll not have you burning up my coal as if it were rubbish? Get back to work.
Yes, sir.
Merry Christmas, Uncle! God save you, Bob!
Merry Christmas. Bah! Hammer.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle. You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then. What right have you to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Hammer.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas. What's it to you but the time of paying bills without money? If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly to his heart.
Uncle.
You keep Christmas in your way, and let me keep it in mine.
But you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone then. Much good it may do you. Much good it has ever done me.
Why, Uncle? I believe it has done me a lot of good. A kind, forgiving, charitable, happy time. The only time I know of in the long calendar of the year when men and women seem of one consent to open their hearts freely. Then therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good and will do me good. Then I say, God bless it.
Let me hear another sound from you, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
No, I won't dine with you.
But why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. Good afternoon.
But Uncle, you never came to see me before I was married. Why give that as a reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon.
Uncle, why can't we be friends? Well, I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last, so Merry Christmas, Uncle!
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year!
Ah, humbug.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe.
What?
Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley's been dead these 7 years. Since you asked, he died 7 years ago this very night.
Huh?
Dead! We have no doubt his liberality is well represented in his surviving partner.
Not interested.
At this festive season, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than desirable that we make some slight provision for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time. Thousands are in want of common necessities. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Huh?
Prisons!
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. Still, I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor then.
Both very busy, sir.
Oh. I was afraid from what you had said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I am much relieved.
Under the impression that they scarcely furnish Christian cheer of minds or bodies to the multitude, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund by the poor food and means of warmth. We choose this time, since the time of all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
What's that?
Nothing!
You wish to be anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the establishments I have mentioned. They cost enough. Those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die than go there.
If they would rather die, then they had better do it. And decrease the surplus population. Besides, it's not my business. It is enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with anyone else. And so I bid you good afternoon.
Oh.
Good afternoon!
Well, sir, it's
It's what?
it's shutting up time, sir.
Yes? Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
And well, sir, I was wondering if you would allow me the day off. That is, if it's convenient, sir.
It is not convenient, and it's not fair. If I were to stop half a crown for it, you'd think yourself very ill-used, wouldn't you? And yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
But it's Christmas only once a year, sir.
Yeah, Christmas. poor excuse to pick a man's pocket every 25th of December. And you, a clerk with 15 shillings a week and a wife and family, talking about a Merry Christmas. Blah!
May I have the day off, sir?
I suppose you must. But be here all the earlier the next morning.
Yes, sir. I will indeed, sir. And thank you, sir.
Late that evening, Scrooge left his dreary office and went home to his dismal chambers. Chambers once occupied by his dear partner Marley. Here we come, a wassailing among the thistle-green.
Here we come along, it's so fair to be seen.
Love and joy unto you, and to you your wassail too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new year. God bless the master of this house, likewise the mistress too. And all the little children that round the table go. Love and joy unto you, and to you your wassail too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new year. And when he reached the house, he was amazed to notice that the knocker on the door was Marley's face.
Dun, dun, dun! I could have sworn. Ah! Rubbish.
So up the stairs he went into as boldly as he could, into his dark and gloomy rooms. Darkness was cheap, and so he liked it, the old miser. Inside his rooms, everything appeared as it should be.
Dun, 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 dun. Nobody underneath the table. Dun, 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 dun. Nobody underneath the bed.
Dun, 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 dun.
Nobody in the closet.
And nobody in his dressing gown, which was hanging in a suspicious attitude against the wall. Satisfied, he locked the door, took off his coat, put on his nightshirt, his pointed nightcap, and sat before the fire to take his meager gruel. As he sat, looking at the fire, he suddenly realized that every tile about the grate had on it a copy of old Marley's face, staring at him. Dun!
Humbug! Humbug! I don't believe it. Rubbish!
Suddenly, an old bell up in the tower began to ring, while a noise downstairs made him start.
What's that? Who's there? Oh, no. What do you want with me?
Much!
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then? You're particular. For a shame.
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
You don't believe in me.
I don't.
What evidence would you have of my reality beyond your own senses?
I don't know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of underdone potato. There's more gravy than grave about you, whatever you are. Do you see this toothpick?
I do.
You're not looking at it.
But I see it, notwithstanding.
Ah, humbug, I tell you! Nasty, dreadful apparition! Why do you trouble me?
Man of the worldly mind! Do you believe in me or not?
I do. I must. But why do spirits walk the earth? And why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes yard by yard. I girded it on of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it. Would you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was full as heavy as this, and as long. 7 Christmas Eves ago. You have labored on it since. It is indeed a ponderous chain.
Oh, Jacob. Jacob, Mark. Tell me more. Speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. It comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge, and is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men. Nor can I tell you what I would. Very little more is all that is permitted me. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. In life, my spirit never wandered beyond the narrow limits of our counting house. Mark me! Weary journeys lie before me.
You must have been very slow about it, Jacob.
Slow.
7 years dead and traveling all the time.
The whole time. No rest. No peace. Incessant torture of remorse.
You travel fast?
On the wings of the wind.
You must have covered quite a bit of ground in 7 years.
Oh, captive bound in double iron. Not to know that any Christian spirit working kindly in its little sphere, whatever it may be, will find its mortal life too short for its vast means of usefulness. Not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one life's opportunity misused. Yet such was I. Oh, such was I.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
A business! Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business! At this time of the rolling year, I suffer most. Why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings and never raise my eyes toward that blessed star? Were there no poor homes to which its light would have conducted me? Hear me! My time grows short.
I will. Don't be hard upon me. Don't be flowery, Jacob, pray.
How it is that I appear before you in a shape that you can see, I may not tell. I have sat invisible beside you many and many a day. That is no light part of my penance. I am here tonight to forewarn you that you may yet have a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of my procuring, Ebenezer.
Oh, you were always a good friend to me. Thank you.
Hear me! You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance and hope you mentioned, Jacob?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow night, when the bell tolls for 1.
Couldn't I take you all at once and have it over with you?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next, when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more. And remember what has passed between us!
And the ghost vanished into the dark, bleak night,
Scrooge denounced the whole thing.
I don't believe it. The whole business is rubbish.
And then he went to bed. He was soon asleep. When Scrooge awoke, it was still dark. He thought, and thought, and thought.
He said he'd be here when the bell tolled what? When the bell tolled what? Hammer! Dong, dong, dong.
Suddenly, a light flashed into the room.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
Well, what brings you here?
Your welfare.
I'm much obliged for keeping an old man from his sleep.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed, rise, and walk with me.
But I am mortal and liable to fall.
There but the touch of my hand. There. And you shall be supported in more than this. Look beyond. What do you see?
Good heavens. I was raised in this place. I was a boy here.
Ah, you recollect the way.
Remember it? I could walk it blindfolded.
Strange to have forgotten it for so many years.
Lead on, spirit. I will follow.
Do you see that schoolhouse? Do you remember? Of course you do. You see, the school is not quite deserted, even though it is Christmas Eve. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still. You know who that boy is?
It's me. It's my own lost boyhood. My poor, forgotten self as I used to be. Poor lonely boy. I wish...
Wish what?
Nothing. It's too late now.
Too late for what?
Nothing, nothing, nothing! Nothing. There was a boy singing a Christmas carol to my doll the other night. Should have liked to have given him something, that's all.
Let us see another Christmas.
I have come to bring you home, dear brother, to bring you home, home, home.
Home, Fan?
Home for good and all. Father is so much kinder now that home is like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one night as I was going to bed that I was not afraid to ask him once more if you might come home. And he said you should, and sent me in a coach to bring you. We'll be together for all the Christmas long.
Always a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered. But she had a large heart.
So she had, spirit. You're right.
She died a woman, and had, as I think, children.
One child.
True. Your nephew.
Yes.
Come. Another Christmas.
The Spirit led the way to many scenes that Scrooge had long forgotten. He was shown some happy Christmases of long ago when he was a youth. But best of all, the Spirit took him to a warehouse where he had been an apprentice. And when Scrooge peeked in, he saw an old gentleman in a Welsh wig, sitting at a high desk, and he cried out,
Why, it's old Fezziwig! Bless his heart! It's Fezziwig! He was very much attached to me, was Dick. Oh, poor Dick. Dear, dear.
Yo ho there, my boys. No more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas, Ebenezer. Let's have the shutters up before a man can say Jack Robinson. Hilly-o! Ah, clear away, my lads. Let's have lots of room here. Play us a happy tune.
Wasn't Fezziwig a silly man?
A silly man? Why, he was a wonderful man. Fine fellow.
What is the matter?
Nothing particular.
Something, I think.
No, no! I should like to say a word or two to my clerk, Bob Cratchit. That's all.
My time grows short. Quick!
It matters little to you. Very little. Another idol has displaced me. And if it can cheer and comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to, then I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the even-handed dealing of the world. There is nothing on which the world is so hard as poverty, and there is nothing as severe as the pursuit of wealth.
Poor Ebenezer. You fear the world too much. All your other hopes have merged into the one hope of being beyond the chance of its sordid reproach. The reproach of poverty. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall, one by one, until the master passion, gain, engrosses you. Have I not?
What then? Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I'm not changed toward you, am I?
Our contract is an old one, made when we were both poor, and content to be so. Until in good season we can improve our worldly fortune by our patient industry. You are changed. When it was made, Ebenezer, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Your own feelings tell you you are not the same. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart, it's fraught with misery now that we are two. How often and keenly I've thought of this, I will not say. It is enough that I have thought of it, and can release you.
Have I sought release?
In words? No, never.
In what then?
In a changed nature, an altered spirit, in everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. If this had never been before us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now? No.
You think not?
I would gladly think otherwise if I could. Heaven knows I would. But if you were free today, tomorrow, can even I believe that you would choose a dowerless girl who you in your very confidence with her weigh everything by gain? Or even if you should, do I not know that
By pressing this down, Scrooge put out the light of the spirit like a snuffed candle. Then he reeled into bed and sank into a heavy sleep.
Dong, dong, dong.
1 o'clock.
Scrooge heard a strange sound coming from the next room and began to move toward it.
Ebenezer Scrooge! Come in! Come in and know me better, man.
What do you want with me? And what have you done to my room here? This is my room, but it's undergone a strange transformation. This holly, this mistletoe, what does it mean? And who are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Come closer. Fear me not.
Spirit, conduct me where you will. Tonight, if you're about to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
Gladly.
Now, what see you?
I see brightly colored lights. Gaiety. Shooting on sleds and playing in the snow. You see that house? Over there. The one with the Christmas wreath on the door? Of course. It is the humble home of my clerk, Bob Cratchit.
He's carrying Tiny Tim, his little son. See the boy's little crouching, helpless limbs? How tenderly his father holds him. Let's get closer.
A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears.
A Merry Christmas to us all.
Merry Christmas.
God bless us, everyone.
That was Tiny Tim. See how close he sits to his father's side? And look, he's holding Tiny Tim's weathered little hands in his. He fears of losing the lad.
Well, tell me, Spirit, if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner. A crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
Oh, no. No, good Spirit. Say he will live. Well, say he'll live.
If you be like to die, you better do it. And
Decrease the surplus population.
Mr. Scrooge. I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon. And I should hope he'd have a good appetite for it, too.
Now, are you so ready to decide what men shall live? Or what men shall die?
Before Scrooge could answer, the spirit whirled him on to many homes and places, showing him misery as well as happiness and good cheer.
God bless you, merry gentlemen, there's nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Now to the Lord sing praises, all you live in His grace, and with true love and brotherhood each other now embrace. This holy tide of Christmas, all others all seek face. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
I see something strange, Spirit. Are they yours?
They are man's, and they cling to me, appealing from their fathers. This boy is ignorance. This girl is want. Beware them both, for on their brows I see written that which is doom.
Have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no work
Yes, I know. You're the ghost of Christmas yet to come. I fear you more than any specter I've seen. But I know your purpose is to do me good. I am prepared to bear your company. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, spirit. Lead on. The night is fading fast, and I know it is precious time to me. Lead on.
Don't know much about it either way. Only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I suppose.
What? What don't it mean? I thought he'd never die.
God knows.
What did he do with his money?
I ain't heard, but he ain't left it to me, that's all I know. It's liable to be a cheap funeral. Upon my life, I don't know anybody is going to it.
Suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
Only if there's lunch. I must be fed if I'm to go.
What's in the bundle?
Belongings, I reckon. Let's have a look.
Would you look at that? Not a hole in it. Nor a threadbare place, neither.
We'll not waste it, eh?
And how'd we be doing that?
By letting him be buried in it. Can't you see? These things is for the burial, but they'll serve us much better. This is the end of it, you see. He frightened everyone away from him when he was alive to profit us when he was dead.
I see. The case of this unhappy gentleman might be my own. Oh, Spirit, this is a fearful place. In leaving it, I shall not be with lesson. Trust me. Let us go.
The phantom moved, and Scrooge followed. For the second time, Scrooge found himself at the Cratchit home.
It must be near your father's time.
Past it, rather. But I think he walks more slowly now than he used to.
But I have known him to walk with... Tiny Tim on his shoulder, very fast indeed. And so have I. And he was so light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble. There is your father now. You went today then, Robert?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green the place it is. I promised him that I would walk there on a Sunday. My little child.
Spectre! Is there no help for this? Who was that man whom we saw lying dead?
There was no answer. Once again, the spirit beckoned Scrooge to follow, first leading him past the window of his own counting house that he might look in. Scrooge hastened to see what the future held for him there, but saw nothing that he recognized. These later visions seemed to have no order, save that they were in the future, and that Scrooge himself appeared in none of them. The spirit did not stay for anything, but went straight on until he beckoned him to pause in an old churchyard, overrun with grass and weeds, forgotten and untended. The spirit stood among the graves and pointed solemnly to one.
Before I draw near to that stone, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be? Or are they the shadows of the things that only may be?
The spirit, unmoved, still pointed downward to the grave by which it stood. Scrooge crept towards it, through the awful or weeds.
I can hardly see whose name is written on this crumbled stone. Why, it's Ebenezer Scrooge! Me! Oh, no, no, Spirit, no, no, Spirit, hear me! I'm not the man I was. I'll not be the man I must have been. Oh, good Spirit, pity me. Assure me I may yet change these shadows you've shown me by an altered life. I'll let Christmas in my heart. I'll try and keep it all the year. Oh, tell me, I may wipe away the writing on this terrible stone.
In his agony, Scrooge dropped to his knees and raised his hands in a last prayer to have his fate reversed. He saw an alteration in the phantom's shape. It began to shrink and collapsed. And then...
Dong, 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 dong. Dong, 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 dong.
These bed covers, they're my very own. This room, it's my own room, my very own. Oh, bless it all. Oh, I'll live the past, the present, and the future. Oh, I will, I will. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. Oh, Jacob Marley, heaven and the Christmas time be praised for this. I say it on my knees, old Jacob. On my knees. I'm as light as a feather. As happy as an angel. As merry as a schoolboy. Hello, outside there. What's today?
Today? Well, it's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. Oh, hello, my fine fellow.
Hello?
Do you know the poultry shop on the next street at the corner?
Well, indeed I do, sir.
Oh, an intelligent boy, a delightful boy. Oh, do you know if they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging there? Not the little prize turkey, the big one.
What? The one as big as me?
Oh, well, what a delightful child. It's a pleasure to talk to her. Yes, my lad.
Well, it's hanging there now.
It is? Go and buy it.
Are you joking?
No, no, I'm in earnest. Go and buy it and... tell the man to bring it here. That I may give him directions on where to take it. Come back with the man, and I'll give you a shilling. Oh. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes, and I'll give you half a crown.
I'll be back as quick as a shot, sir.
Look at him run! I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. He shan't know who sent it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. And then I'll hire myself over to my nephews. Won't they be surprised?
Dressed in his best, Scrooge at last came out into the street. People were pouring forth, and Scrooge greeted everyone with a delightful smile. And
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Play a happy tune.
He went to church and gave a large donation for the poor. He walked gaily about the streets. He never dreamed that anything could give him so much happiness. In the afternoon, he went to his nephew's house, where he shared a wonderful party, wonderful games, and wonderful happiness. The next morning, Scrooge was early at the office. If he could just catch Bob Cratchit coming late, that was the thing he'd set his heart on. And he did it. Yes, he did.
very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
Yes, indeed you are.
But it's only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday.
Now I'll tell you what, my friend. I'll not stand this kind of thing any longer. And therefore... and therefore, I'm about to raise your salary. Merry Christmas, Bob. Oh, a Merry Christmas, Bob. My good fellow that I have given you in many a year. I shall raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family. Build the fires and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city ever knew, or any other good old city in the good old world. He had no further experience with the spirits, but lived a happy life, ever afterwards. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if anybody did.
And may it be said of every one of us, as Tiny Tim observed.
God bless us, everyone.
Yes, God bless us, every one. Merry